On this episode of One Man, One Hand, and No Real Plan, we spend less than $300 on primer, clear, and paint, and we end up making this old Chevy look great. So today's the day. We're gonna try and get the final paint job done on Daisy. The biggest thing, I've got to get some final prep done, a little bit more primer just to put on. Mainly I got to get the door jambs and a couple of places like that I just need to rough up. I've been kind of waiting until I get everything ready to go on masking and stuff, because I didn't want the inside of the cab to just get absolutely decimated with dust and then have to clean that up because I'm lazy. I've got a little bit more primer I need to get sorted out, and then from there we're gonna take the bed. I'm just gonna unbolt it. I'm gonna put some blocks underneath it to raise it and then slide it back far enough that I can get behind the cab a little bit easier. We're also going to make sure and get everything. I want to jam it, and we're not doing a full make sure all the color stuff's done, but we are doing stuff like taking our mirrors off and making sure that we have all of the details done. I'm going to try and clean up all the rubber afterwards. We're going to try and clean it all up so it doesn't look like there's any paint or anything on it. Oh, and I do have a surprise on how I'm going to paint it outside in a booth that anyone can do. Because I thought of this, and I'm sure somebody's done it. I'm not that bright. I don't think it's new stuff, but I'm pretty excited about this because I think it's going to work really well. I bought this piece new. I could have, mine are all in good enough shape. I could have reused them. However, I just decided to replace them just because I don't like to clean that up, and it's been glued and that kind of stuff. But I want to clean up this rust that's especially right in here. Get this old glue out of here. It's not the original door on this truck, I don't think, because this one's blue and the truck was originally white, so it was replaced at some point. This oh, my door's cracked right there. Oh well. See that bad boy right there, but the door's got a crack in it. I should weld that up. I won't. I popped these guys off and I took the mirror off. When you take the interior panel off up here, but there's just 3 bolts, mirror falls off. These have clips. Those clips sit in a little hole. You just have to pull hard. I've got some mineral spirits here. I'm gonna wipe down the whole jam before I go too crazy with sanding and painting. I don't care that it's a perfect paint job. I do care that it's a good, it stays on there. Grimy, grimy gopher guts.
Grimy gopher guts.
All right, let's do some more sanding and prepping. So much fun. I've used it a few times, but yes, my shop vac is our broken hose vac that we've had for years, but the pegs on the swivel part broke and it works too good to get rid of, and I didn't have a big shop vac, so yeah, free is good for me. So I'm gonna take this out and I'll show you why here in about 5 seconds. I noticed something when I was seeing how if I could get the trim out, it made me smile. Are you ready for this? First, we have, I would guess, a pheasant feather, I think. Whoa, not sure. However, next, there's one 4-shot 12 gauge. Looks like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The number of the day is 6.
Shot 12 gauge Federals. High power. High brass, high power. Woo! That's a new safety feature if I've ever seen one. That looks like trash. Where's my vacuum? We're locked and loaded now. Now back to our original scheduled programming of figuring out how the hell to get this screw Wonder if we can get this one out. Balls.
Oh, balls.
Batting 1,000 today. I knew these were gonna suck. Got 2. Hooray. Now, God, it's hot today. Whew, I'll be in shorts by the end of this video. I guarantee that. Damn. I'm glad that one went easy. Yep. Ooh, look at all that dirt. One. There's usually a few of them in there. I think that's it. Just gotta be mean to it. More dirt. No gun shells though. Got that out. Oh, it stinks. Yeah, that smells like old farm truck. Wow. You never know what screw was available when they decided to put it back. Oh, it's a good adventure. Ah, we got it. Ah. Screw you and your horse. No idea what that means. But that's what we said. Probably the horse you rode in on. To just drill, baby, drill. See, and that's how that one comes out. I'd say there was some mouse house at some point in this baby. It's a broken screw. That's why. All right. So how come it won't just pop up? Gotcha. Yep. Broken screw. Rotten to the core. Vacuum. Here we go with the vacuum. We do have some rust on top. It is still very solid, so I'm gonna just spray rust oleum on it just to try and slow it down. From underneath, it's super solid. As long as we keep that clean, it should not be a real problem with rusting more as long as we take care of it. Eventually it will rust through. Rust just doesn't go away, but I'm not gonna worry about it till I have to. Bet the other side's just like it. Wonder if it's locked and loaded too. I know it's not the most best way, but it's what we're gonna do. Rust tough, 40% stronger. Woo! Fixed it. Woo! That's one jam. One jam. One jam. This is why it takes so long. It's just tedious. Absolutely tedious. All right. Let's get our tape. Hopefully it's making sense. I'm going to try and go windshield, engine compartment, bumper, all one swoop. We'll see how well that works. The nice thing about doing, I don't remember where I learned that trick, but you tape your edges, then you don't have to be as precise because you can mask a whole lot faster. But I can just slap it down like savvy. Under here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come to like right here and just tape it to that lip. And some of it will be white and some of it won't be. And I do not care. Hopefully the concept makes sense how I'm trying to mask this off. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole thing. So I'm gonna try and get some masking done and I'll bring you back when we're done. I should add that I mean, you can see it right now. I lather the sunscreen on because I'm tired of them cutting on my face. I'm gonna rough it out with the longboard, but I have a feeling the DA is going to make an appearance. I do have my shorts on now. My jorts. They're not shorts, they're jorts. I feel like John Cena. Can you see me? Ba, 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 ba. When I was getting the body ready for primer, I was using 80 grit. I prepped everything with 80 grit. Now that the primer's on and we're doing this would technically be the block sanding step. And there are imperfections and all kinds of stuff. I'm not super worried about that. Now, when I do the 36, I'm not going for a show paint job, but I am going for a higher end paint job on it because I want it to look straight everywhere. I have another project lined up for after that I'm super excited about. I have a very specific look that I'm trying to create. On the inside, I'm gonna do a lot of custom touches, and I'm hoping under the skin to do some very cool custom stuff. It'll sort of depend on when I get to it and what the pocketbook looks like. It took me a decade to find the car because there's just that few of them. It's going to be a fun build. I'm stupidly excited about that one. But I need to get my dump truck finished. I will tell you a fun-filled fact about it. Its curb weight when manufactured was 1,600 pounds. Normally you would put a guide coat on here. I'm using my ripples. I can feel them, but I can also see them. And I'm using a cross. I don't know if cross hatch is the right word, but I'm going up, going down. But like right here, I know I have a low spot right there because this is smooth, but that is still ridgy. And that tells me I have a low spot. I'm not worried about that on this. If it were a show quality paint job, I would get this all sanded smooth, then I'd re-primer it. I'd primer the whole thing and I'd sand it again with a guide coat. And basically, some people buy chalk and put it on there. Other people just use black spray paint, real lightly dust it, and you sand. And wherever the black paint stays, you need more primer. So then you put your primer back on and you just keep block sanding until it's laser straight and you have a perfectly smooth job. Because like right here, this is low compared to that. You know, it's not perfect. Don't care. I want a work truck. If I make it nice, and I'm fighting the temptation to fix this dent so bad it's not even funny. But once I start fixing that one, then I want a new tailgate. Then I want all that stuff. And this truck's job is to work. I wanted to fix the rust, make it solid. Eventually I'm gonna paint in the bed. I need to clean all that surface rust and stuff, but I don't want it to rot. I want it to be strong. I want it to be mechanically sound. We're going to do that in the future. So that's our goal. All right, let's sand some more and quit talking. Quick update. I've decided not to take the bed off. The bolts were fighting me. I didn't feel like messing with it. It's just a pain. I've gone and managed to tape off the bumpers. I've got everything sanded again. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna set. I've got the front on jack stands. I've got the back on jack stands, and I'm going to just take the wheels off and removal of tires and a wipe down away from having it ready for primer. It's going to be a heavy coat of primer on. From there, we're going to build our spray booth. Now, I'm going to put some primer on it. We got our primer on, and it's not, balls.
Oh, balls.
Hopefully you're dry-ish. Whoopsies. Nah, it happens. But you can see, spraying makes a big difference. But we got our jams, we got our roof, a little bit of dirt in it, not too bad. I had some few runs. That was actually the first time I bought a new gun. It's an Eastwood Concourse Pro. I bought it to use on my 36 to put a really nice paint job on it, but I wanted to practice with it. I put on 2 full coat. Now I gotta let it set up and I can sand it. We're gonna sand with 400. Hopefully tomorrow, put paint on it. I don't know if I'll get it all sanded tonight or not. Sort of depends. This will be all hand sanding. Our original sanding was 80 grit. Then we put our first primer on and then we sanded that again. That's the one we just finished sanding with 220. And we primed it again. And now we're sanding it down with 400. We won't prime it again. We'll go to base color. We're gonna gray and blue. Yeah, it'll be what it'll be. I should have just sprayed it in the beginning. It would have been a lot less sanding, but that's all right. It is what it is. It's the next morning after we put the primer on. I decided to let it sit and get a little bit harder, a little bit drier. We still have dew this morning, so I gotta let the tops still burn off, but we're gonna get started just block sanding. So while I'm waiting for the sun to warm this up a little bit and help our sanding process, I'm going to work on the paint booth I keep talking about. Now my plan is I bought some 2x4x10s, 10 foot. I'm going to rip them in half on the table saw to make 1x10s. And then I'm going to screw them to the wall on my garage up here, 10 foot up. And I'm going to string 2 together, and I'm gonna put a couple hinges in the middle against each other to make it stronger and stiff, because this is all going to be temporary. And then it'll give me 20 foot, and 20 foot falls like right here, so it's going to be tight on the back. So I may figure out a way to kick out the bottom a little bit for us. But then I got plastic sheeting. I just bought a bunch of cheap plastic sheeting stuff. I'll be able to make this booth. I have the hinges. It'll be under 50 bucks. Bulk sheeting off Amazon. It was like $20 for 20 sheets of 9 foot by 12 foot. It's not a hard thing. Just takes a little time and a little patience. But for 50 bucks, I figured it'd be worth a try. I've got some screws, just some regular old hinges here. Hopefully it's starting to make a little sense what we're doing. The reason I'm using hinges is because I wanted an easy way to attach them end to end to maximize my length.
That's what she said?
You could easily scab a board on the side. I'm going to use one of these other cuts as a way to make sure everything is, keep it straight enough for now. Wasn't sure if those would be big enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hinge on top with just some regular old wood screws. They're just little 1-inch screws. Now I'm going to flip it over. Once I put this on the opposite side, it should be pretty stout. Now, that worked like I thought it would. So then I'll have a leg up, and then that straight shot there will drape plastic, and we'll do it over there, and I'll have a spacer in the middle, and we should have a stable enough to last a day. We'll staple the plastic to it. That'll keep our stuff down, and we may have to put a little kicker on the back side. I'm going to duplicate it, and then we'll start putting it together. Now, this is just an offcut of some wood we've used previously. I brought the square, but this is a pretty good edge here, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I'm going to roll this over so that one of the hinges is on the bottom, one of them's on the top. And I'm simply going to use these longer screws and put it all the way at the end, and then use that to make our brace to help it stay at an angle, but also give extra wood to mount the leg to. Not perfect, but good enough for what we're trying to do. Then of course, now I've got all that surface to help strengthen this leg. I hope this makes sense on the frame. I'll talk through it some more. Right now I'm going to work on sanding since he's running the chainsaw. So we had a really big storm come through last night, and it hailed and it blew a bunch over, and I think even some RVs got tipped over. But so I had to abandon the sanding for a while, and I tarped everything up. I think we did okay. I slid all my wood underneath the truck. I mean, it got a little wet. It's just trying to keep it more than lose it, but we have to fix some of our masking. But I think we managed to survive. I've looked it over and I haven't seen any real damage. I mean, more than was already there, but I think some people had up to ping pong size, so that sucked. Looking at our house, it seems decently okay. They didn't have any broken windows or something. I know some people, within 10 miles of us, they had their windows blown out with hail and stuff, so that sucked. But now back to sanding. Hell yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm already bored. It sucks. So I'm hoping this, you can see I've sanded a little on this, but I wanted to try and highlight. Yeah. Use my clean shirt. There we go. Like, even with the gun, when you're talking over 220, you're talking over 80, you still have little bumps and stuff, as you say. It's just that kind of orange PLE type of feeling. And to get it smooth, and that's what I'm trying to do, so my base coat has the smoothest surface to work on. You sand, this is 400 grit. I'm hoping it shows up on the camera, but when you sand, I'll show you how quickly it transforms. And this is real time, me sanding, and I'm hoping it looks okay and you can see what's going on, but I'm not working super hard, a light pressure, just trying to go, you know, this way, then this way, that X pattern to make it as flat and as smooth as possible, and concentrating right in here. But hopefully that shows you, like, how much of that's already gone. There's like a little right there, and of course I need to work more down in here, but it really transforms it pretty quick. Honestly, that storm last night really helped. So it's about 48 hours since I painted the primer, and it's sanding very easily. So if you can afford the time, it works nice to let it set, let it get a little bit harder. It goes pretty quick when it's hard.
That's what she said.
This whole time I've been trying to do this outside, I've been fighting rains, and I'm sure everybody has been, but I'm getting tired of it. I don't want to wish away or pray away the rain, but I definitely could use a few days without a storm. Let me get paint on it and get it done, and then I'll let it can get hailed on, it can get whatever, it'll be painted. All right, let me bring you back when this is all sanded and we're ready to build the rest of our shelter. This is the last day of the weekend. I've got to try and finish painting and everything. I need to still sand the tailgate and finish this bedside. I've got everything else done. Then we need to finish our wood form and re-fix some of this stuff from the storm. Some of our maskings need some help, but I got a heavy dew, of course, so I'm just going to try and speed up this process and wipe it down. Hooray! here comes the sketchy part of the plan. We're gonna, oh wait, make more sense to go this way, wouldn't it? But do you? All right, we'll go this way. Maybe. Uh-oh.
It was at this moment that he knew.
We didn't think this through, did we? Oh, don't hit the truck. I think I'm going to need help. And I'm not sure that help will want to be on camera. So stay tuned. In case you were wondering, it took 4 people and 3 ladders and a lot of prayer to get that up there. I did not get to go 10 feet high on the front because I ran out of roof. So I just compromised. I got plenty of room to spray from the top. That's not going to be a problem. Let me show you what it looks like. This is not designed to last. I'm not keeping this up. It's only supposed to be up today. I just screwed it in, put a support. I set it on the electrical box over there. Those hinges holding those straight. We've got our box out here. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how much space I'll have to move around in. Now, on the back end, I am gonna have to punch it out a little, get some more scrap 2x4s, and I'll push it here so it makes kind of a canopy here. Figure out the sheeting. I'm trying to decide if I need it on top or not. I definitely, the wind is this way, and if I sheet all the way around it, I doubt I need the top, and that would make life simple. So I'm going to see what that does. Let's try and hang our first sheet and see how bad we can screw it up. And I'm just going to staple it. That's the plan anyway. Excuse me, have you seen my stapler? I was told I could keep my red swing line stapler.
Excuse me, I believe you have my stapler.
Oh, I screwed it up already. Good job. Don't fly away. Like a giant kite it is. Quit trying to fly away, dickhead. Do, 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 do. Oh, you stupid wind. You suck a lot. It kept tearing at the top, but if I put tape over it, it seems to be holding. So I'm going to put tape over it, but I think I'm going to go to that side and do that side first and try and kill the wind before this catches and pulls it off. I don't know if that's a good sound theory or not, but we're going to give it a whirl as much as we can. Guess what else we're going to do? I mean, fail safe. If this doesn't last very long, we'll just paint it outside. All right, let me get over to the other side. Now we're getting to 9 feet. Please stay in your assigned seating for the duration of the flight. You asshole. Don't snag. Are you flipping kidding me? Need more hands than I have. Dude, the wind is just too strong today for that light duty mill stuff. I got my tarps out and I went on the side that the wind is blowing out of. And I've got it really, really still here. And I think we're gonna be able to paint this way. Not exactly what we were shooting for, but definitely gonna work. It is now 2 o'clock. I'm a little over 3 hours and 2 days behind where I was hoping to be. I got a tack cloth. We're gonna wipe everything down real fast. I am not mad at my idea. I think if you had heavy plastic, or this is why you wipe it down. Even after wiping it down and everything else we've done, there's that much on it. I would definitely recommend tarps and maybe a light source or some sort of heavier plastic, like maybe clear shower curtains if it's a short car. Like I think you could, if you were painting a Miata, shower curtains would be the way to go. Just get you some clear shower curtains. They got the eyelets, make it a lot easier. For an idea, I've never tried it before. I'm sure somebody's tried it. I think in the idea section of this conversation of what worked and what didn't. I would call the outdoor paint booth a work, and I think I'd rather clean my spray gun than I would do more sanding. I've got this in the bed, and we're just going to paint it in the bed because the floor is going to get painted eventually. I like a painted bed floor over a bed liner because they're so sticky, like it's hard to scoop with a shovel and that kind of stuff. Roller left a texture that gave it some grip, but I guarantee I could still scoop out of it. And so I think I'm going to do that after all the paint's dry. Let me finish wiping and then we'll start painting. This is 8 parts to 1. This is a gloss gray. Ironically, it's gloss Ford gray. And we're also going to use gloss Ford blue and a clear. Let me get my other glove on, and I need to grab a fresh stick because I'm not organized. I've got the second coat of gray on here, and now I'm gonna lay out our pinstripe real quick. That we're gonna just go right down this. I have this tape right here. I think it's like 5/8. It's not, it's bigger than a half, but not huge.
That's what she said. No.
I think it's 5/8, but it's about the right perfect size. So my trick that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this right where I want it in the groove, and then I'm gonna use it to be the outside mask. This will end up being my stripe eventually, but this, to keep my spacing and all that the same and try and be a consistent line, then I'm gonna lay this in right on the edge of it. I'm gonna set that down and show you a little closer. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna try and make these edges hit like right on it, like that. And then I peel the green out of the middle, paint the blue, because I'll have this. Let me go ahead and finish. So that gives us our bottom line. Then we come across the top, get that top edge on there. And then I come a chameleon. I bet there's some professional that knows exactly how I'm screwing this up, but I'm just trying to come up with a simple, consistent line. But there you go. That's my strategy. And then you just simply and gently pull the tape, making sure that stays down, and you've got your stripe. Hopefully that'll work. Well, that escalated quickly. I finally got it all taped off with the help of my son, who I immensely appreciate, but I got to get this painted. That is a crap ton of work to mask that off with that stupid little line. It better look good. It's been long enough. We can start peeling some of this off and seeing what it looks like. I'm kind of nervous. But then I remembered, worst case scenario, I just have to paint it the same color again. I've got all the masking that was used to make the pinstripe taken down. I think it looked good. I think it looks all right. I had one spot that bled, and so I touched it up. I just took a paintbrush, like an arty-farty one, and just touched it up while I had the brush out. I had a little fun. For my first attempt at two-tone, turned out better than I expected. I can see why I've always been afraid of it, because it takes, even with taking all that time to tape everything, to mask everything, it still wasn't perfect. I think if I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do a lot of reading on tape and find some really good tape that leaves us a clean edge, because that's my biggest complaint about this, is the edge isn't perfect, but it ain't bad from, what am I at, 4 feet? I'll take that. So, tomorrow we'll clear. You can tell it's cloudy on clear day. Wipe it down. It's in the morning. It's not as hot as I would like it to be, but I've got this chance to get clear on it, or I've got rain and thunderstorms this afternoon. Tonight I've got thunderstorms tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if I don't do it now, we're not doing it. If nothing else, getting the jams cleared and all that will let me put the weather stripping on, and then it'll be a lot easier to finish and protect it from the rain that's coming. I'm gonna add, this clear says it's not supposed to be reduced. It's from the Van Sickle again. It's not supposed to be reduced. That's what we've got it set up to do. We're gonna spray it on and see how it goes. Oh, that hurts. Ouch. Well, it's been about an hour. It's dry enough to the touch. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get some of this out of the way and weather stripping on, because the radar shows that the rain's gonna be here any minute. So I don't know what else to do. I can't tarp it. That'll ruin my clear, that's for sure.
A few moments later.
Perfect. That's what I mean. Now look how clean that is. It just looks like everything's right, as opposed to having, you know, a mask line and that kind of stuff. But all right, there's the door shut. Oh, I need to push that back a little bit. You can see where I need to clean this, which is not a big deal. I'll get that all cleaned up. Not right this second. I should put the mirrors on, but right now I'm going to get the other weather stripping on in case it starts raining. The next time you see it, it'll be all back together, and hopefully it won't be raining. I thought I'd give you a rundown on what we've spent to replace all the panels, to fix all the rust, to body work everything, to get it all in paint and do all that, so you can have an idea of what it costs. But so we bought 3 wheel arches because we used one on the front, but we fixed the wheel arches on the bed both sides, and both fenders both sides, and then rockers and cab corners on everything. That was $161.65, and I'm not including tax or any shipping costs, because that's going to vary, based on where you live and stuff. But $161.65 in panels, paint for a gallon of primer, a gallon of gray, clear, oh wait, we're on 3, clear, and a quart of blue. So 3 gallons plus a quart was $239.21. Bodywork materials, so like all of our filler and the sealer I put on the inside of that, all that kind of stuff, was $160.11. So to fix all the rust and paint it in materials, I have $559.97. Now some extra costs, like I chose to replace the weather stripping and that kind of thing. A few things, like I bought that rod instead of fixing that rod, that type of stuff. I had another $150.30 in it, and they weren't necessary costs, but I chose to do it for the ease of doing it myself, but you wouldn't have to spend it. And then for the paint booth, that I still think's a good idea, and I still think it could work, you probably need either thicker mill plastic or a little more wood. If you put in, if each sheet could have its own vertical piece, and that really wouldn't be that expensive to do, it would, you could have stapled them all and I think it would have worked. I had 4 2x4x10s that I ripped in half for $21.96. And then I bought a 20-piece 9x12 plastic sheet kit from Amazon for $29.99. So for $51.95, it was definitely worth this attempt. All in, everything, to get this truck from where we started to where it is now, I'm under $800. It was, I don't know, $770 to $790, somewhere in there. I added it, but I forgot to write it down. But it's still under $800. I think we're gonna call that. I'm super, super excited with how it turned out. There's still some small stuff to do. There's some residue from the masking tape on the windshield rubber, and I haven't really gotten after it too much because I'm trying to decide if I want to replace it because it is cracked, and maybe I'll do it down the road. But got to finish putting the interior fully back. But honestly, I'm very excited with how it turned out. So if you've enjoyed watching Daisy get transformed, you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit the like button, consider subscribing. We're also over on Instagram, UpwardPenny, all lowercase. And I've said it before, I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just out here trying. And the only time you can't do something is when you won't. Thanks for watching. Guess where we're going? You didn't think I wouldn't actually take you guys to the dump, did you? We're heading out to the dump. I still got Bubbles and Penny with me. What do you say, guys? Can you say hi? No? We're just chilling? We're doing good. I think we might be the prettiest one there today.